I call to order the Coatesville Area School District School Board meeting scheduled for August 25th, 2026. The mission of the Coatesville Area School District, rich in diversity and committed to excellence, is to create innovative educational experiences which are funded by the taxpayers, supported by the community, delivered by dedicated teachers and administrators to ensure all students will become responsible, contributing global citizens. Madam Secretary, please call for the roll.
Lear Nyako.
Here.
Steve Wilson.
Here.
Bob Connect.
Here.
Beth Brindle.
Here.
Holly Charest.
Here.
Shauna Maxwell.
Excused.
Liz Muirhead.
Here.
Robin Seagreaves.
Here.
Julia Trexler.
Here.
Charles Robertson.
Here.
At this time, I ask everyone to please stand for a moment of silence and a salute to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To my colleagues, are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to this evening's agenda? All right. Public comment? None before. Cool. Then we're going to skip that. Special report, there is none, which brings us to our Region 1 candidate interviews. The board will now interview the following two candidates for school board director who have applied to fill the unexpired term for Region 1, recently vacated by Donna Rowland. Charles Green and Tara Balla. All candidates have been provided the questions to be answered via email in advance of the meeting, and will be asked to incorporate their answers into a 5 to 7 minute public statement. The questions are as followed. Why do you want to serve on the school board, and what experience, talents, and experiences do you bring to the school board, our community, and our students? Based on your life, career, and other past experiences, which school board committee can you best serve and why? And then third one is, if you had to run an election campaign to fill the vacant school board seat, what would you identify to the community as your campaign platform, and how can you assist the school board in continuing the progress it has made to date? First up would be Mr. Green. Please proceed to the podium for your statement. Right up there, yep. And just click the mic. Or yeah, there you go.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you just for taking the time to consider me for the Region 1 position here for the Coatesville Area School District. As a native here of Coatesville, this for me is a very personal pursuit. As one who has matriculated through every aspect of Coatesville itself and the education system, I find myself returning back here to the wonderful city of Coatesville after spending just 5 years in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, as a university chaplain and adjunct professor at Southern University and A&M College. But prior to getting there, I had a journey, one that was very unique and one that was very peculiar, one that took me through this very wonderful school district as some would say a high school celebrity. I was the starting quarterback for Coatesville for 2006 to 2010, and one of the biggest areas of my life that I love to talk about is rewriting the narrative of Coatesville athletes. For me, growing up here in this city, it was very, very, very serious. They would look at you and say, and I want to be very direct and I want to be very transparent if I can, but they would look at you and they would see you had a gift, they would see you had a talent. In doing so, they would say simple things like, hey, you have a ticket, take it, get out, don't come back. I heard that my entire matriculation through the Coatesville School District. You have a ticket, use it, get out, don't come back. I grew up with elders in many different areas of youth development organizations, whether it was with Jack Kranz, whether it was with The Bridge, whether it was with Coatesville Young Life, which was founded in 2008. All these areas I was a part of. I was a part of Coatesville Youth Initiative, and even more dear to my heart, I am one of the founders of the Brothers Reaching Individually, determined to generate excellence in education here at the Coatesville Area Senior High School. Yes, as a 10th grader, as a starting quarterback, I found myself with Dr. Eugenia Roberts trying to find different ways to engage my peers. She challenged me as a 10th grader with doing such a thing, and I did so by asking my peers would they like to come together and be a part of a STEP team. That STEP team went on to not just compete at a national level, but we went on to actually create an area, a pipeline for students to understand that true success was awaiting them beyond high school. You see, I was raised, I was formulated, I was developed by educators like Sean Noonan, educators like Corey Fields, Teresa Powell, Robert Fisher, Brian Changer. I can go on and name many more, some who were very much there at my wedding just 10 years ago. Why am I sharing all of this? Because for me, at now 34 years of age, a husband of 10 years, and 4 sons who will be attending school in the district, this is not a matter of just having a ticket, going on, and having success as an individual. For me, this is about understanding I have to rewrite the narrative if I truly want to see my school district, my city transform from the inside out. If I want to see these things really take place, then I must be the change that I want to see. I must understand that for every person that told me to get out, they're very much still here in the city doing the same thing they were doing 20 years ago. And what does that mean for someone like me? It means, well, maybe if we changed our narrative and stopped telling those who had gifts, talents, capabilities beyond what we could even think or imagine to get out and never come back, what if they were cultivated to get out, experience, live, and have opportunities that cultivate them to truly come back and be the change that they want to see? One of the biggest things about Coatesville is simply being crabs in a barrel. And I, again, don't want to take time, but for me, this is personal. And I can only say it in this manner of it being personal. And if you are someone that thinks of me as someone that could serve, I don't know what committee I could serve in, not because I haven't taken the time to look at the committee or not because I don't have the skills, but I don't know what the board is in need of right now. And if you are truly a person of cultural responsive leadership, then you will understand, you must understand the totality of the culture you are coming into, not the culture you think you know or the one you were born out of. So for me, it's about understanding the very nature we are in as a district, as a board, and where my skills as a diverse individual serving a diverse school district. I'll end by saying this. As a senior in high school, my position was changed from quarterback to athlete. They had no idea where to put me on the field because I just was a person at a point where they were trying to figure out what to do with the offense. I humbly took my seat, though I started as the quarterback both 10th and 11th grade, not because I didn't want to be a quarterback, but I understood something. I understood that I had such a multi-giftedness that I could find myself as a starter anywhere on the field. And in doing so, being the quarterback never took my title, nor did it take my position of being a leader. My hope in my diversity, what I bring to the table, is to recognize that I am truly a leader who looks to develop other leaders. And if it starts as my first being a husband, as a father, and as an educator myself, then I will always stand first as a student leader, one who consistently understands that I am a student in every aspect, even if I'm the teacher. I just thank you guys for your time, and I know I did not directly answer each question, but to be honest, I don't think I would have been able to if I did not first just truly give you a heart passion of who I am and why this position is more than just a title or a role to serve in. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. Does anybody on the board have any questions for Mr. Green?
Mr. Green, just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Would you, so this position is basically filling the position till through next year. Would you plan to run again?
In full transparency, I do. I do plan to run again. It was very difficult to accept even just coming in this space to pursue a already filled position. And I say that because I truly believe in being a transparent and tangible individual that can be learned. And I believe that a campaign or such would have given individuals a better opportunity to learn who I was as an individual, because I'm a coach's kid. So for me, it's about recognizing all things happen at the speed of trust. So I was iffy about pursuing it from this position.
I will follow up to that question and sort of what you mentioned. You didn't exactly answer all the questions, but now that you've had a little bit chance to tell us about yourself, if you could address the question of if you were to run, what would be your campaign platform or promises? Absolutely.
The campaign slogan or motto would be "Together We Can." Very simply coming from myself being one. And I'm going to risk a little bit of moment of vulnerability in answering your question. I told you I was a starting quarterback in 10th grade, but in 10th grade, I was also one who fell through the cracks of the Coatesville education system. How did that happen? Well, as a starting quarterback, not many people were looking at me as a trouble child. I was a good kid. I was raised. I had good manners. I would show up where I needed to be. But in doing so, my uncle, who was very dear to my life, passed away on the Friday night that we played Avon Grove High School. In doing so, I had 5 touchdowns, and everyone wanted to talk about what such a great game I had, but all I could think about was that I just lost the greatest uncle I thought I ever had. I had to, just a week later, while after playing Downingtown West, bury my uncle on my 16th birthday. In doing so, and follow up, I went through a very mental traumatic season. And I came to school, I went to advisory for 47 days, but I did not go to one class. How could such a thing happen? Well, because I was a starting quarterback and everyone understood I wasn't a bad kid, so when they saw me roaming around, there wasn't questions about, "Charles, are you where you're supposed to be?" So I went 47 days, and if you know the math, that's a whole marking period. Had it not been for my biology teacher, Mrs. Haight, at the time, who blew the whistle because she saw greater in me, calling a meter with our superintendent at that time, Rich Como. After that time, things were changed for me, and I was given an opportunity to finish my scholastics that year at alternative education at the Benner Building during that season of time. So you ask me, why would my campaign be Together We Can? Because for me, it's like a dream, standing in a studio, watching 3 sculptures, one being a teacher, the other being parents, fashioning the child's mind with care in such a way that they understand that they could not do any work alone, that it truly takes the home and it takes the schoolhouse. And the only way for somebody like me to have come out of a pit like that and stand before you in such a way to articulate and you see the success of where I've come from, it's only because of someone saying he's going to slip through the cracks and be a Coatesville statistic. So for me, it's about togetherness. It's the house and the home.
First, I just want to say thank you for your interest in applying for the position. I've had a chance to read over your letter of interest and as well as your resume. I will like to comment that you have a very extensive and impressive resume of experience and highlighting a lot of successes, which is fantastic. My question to you is, thinking back on your roles that you've had over time, is there anything you think that you would do differently?
I would learn to set boundaries sooner. I've learned in my matriculation in every avenue, though it's been diverse, is just because I can doesn't mean I should. Setting boundaries is not setting boundaries because you have weaknesses. It's recognizing your strengths and that I don't have to do something because you have that strength. So for me, it's recognizing where designation needs to take place, where true vulnerability and communication takes place. It's recognizing where pride keeps us from saying, hey, I know I can, but I just have a lot on my plate right now. Would you mind? So for me, it's the honesty of recognizing what you're assigned to.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Green, I also have a question for you.
Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
Over here, thank you. So appreciate you being here today, and I really enjoyed your statement and learning a bit about your history,
Yes.
both in Coatesville and outside of Coatesville. I hope that you're familiar with the equity study that was done here in Coatesville a few years back. It highlighted, in many ways, some of the challenges that we face as a very diverse district, and one of the things that I try to stay focused on is the overrepresentation of diverse students in our disciplinary statistics. At the same time, as a school board member, as a parent, as a taxpayer in the community, I hear a lot of concerns from parents about disruptive behavior in the classroom, at the elementary and middle school level in particular. As you think about the overrepresentation of diverse students in discipline in the equity report, and you think about this opposing challenge of disruptive behavior in the classroom, what mindset would you recommend bringing to those warring conflicts as a member of the board?
I would first challenge us to recognize that diversity does not first take place in the classroom. Diversity is in the home. Many of you are parents. Many of you have multiple children. And many of you don't raise a child that was born 10 years ago with the child that was just born last year. Why am I saying that? We have to get out of the mindset that diversity is just happening once they've gotten to the classroom. If we can meet it at home, which means we have a better understanding of our family dynamics. Family dynamics play such a vital role into how our children show up in the classroom. And if we had a better understanding of those home dynamics, I think it will better position our teachers as well as our administrators as to how we address the classroom dynamics, because we've done our study about the homes. Behaviorally, doing our best to be honest about the plans like IEP that are in place for our students with challenges.
Yeah.
When I say being honest, transparent, and accountable for them. If a student requires a one-on-one and that student doesn't have a one-on-one in the class, then we have done ourselves a disservice, because that child needs that, but now the child is disruptive in a class, but we didn't provide the teacher nor the school with what the child fully may need. That's happened more than often. And the reality is that I think we have to be honest with ourselves about that so that we can come to a better solution about those very controversial areas. My other area is equity is not equality.
Yeah.
So we have to understand where we've had moments to provide equality, but we haven't actually provided equity. Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
I should have guessed.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for all you shared so far. Just an additional question. I think one thing that this board has talked about And Dr. Warchek even brought in a keynote speaker yesterday for the district about difficult conversations and how we handle those. And I think one of the things this board has worked on and wants to model for this district, as well as see more in this district, is safe spaces for people to express differences. So I'm just curious, if you were chosen to be brought into this board, if you don't mind sharing maybe an example or how you see yourself in moments of difficult conversation and difference, where you might, how you would handle that.
Absolutely. So professionally, my background is in psychology, clinical counseling, rehabilitation, as well in the next level of a Master's of Divinity. My professional board is in chaplaincy. I have learned to sit with people in their most difficult times of life. I have learned to also be holistically present, which means I don't have to always speak. I can actually provide the space by being the space. One of the other areas is as a former athlete, and if you're just somebody who likes to stay in shape, if you take some time off, when you go back to do your walks or your runs, you have something called growing pains or sores, right? Well, how will I help us better position ourselves about those areas? I believe I've been gifted to be able to speak in such a way that it allows us to highlight and illuminate our problems while also recognizing what solutions we have right in our right now tangibility. Why is it that it's difficult to have conversations that cause growth, but yet we can recognize in lifting weights, if I lift weights for too long, or if I lift weights in a way that I haven't before, it's going to cause some pain or some growth pain. I think we're just in a place where we have to endure the pain of growth. I don't think we have to ignore it. I think the most transparent conversation is the conversation that causes you to feel uncomfortable in the moment. I think we ask our children of a lot that as adults we run from. I think conflict resolution is something that should be constantly moving through our conversation. But I don't think we actually speak from a place of truth many of times. If I can be honest, Mr. Steve, I don't think we speak from truth. I think we speak from opinions and what's comfortable to the moment. I think I serve as someone that helps individuals have those tough conversations while allowing us to recognize no gain without no pain. So there's moments of confliction or combating, but it's only to make us better. And I think if we are just better embracing that, I think those tough conversations, we see them for what they are, which are lessons to be learned rather than problems to be solved.
Anyone else? All right, thank you, Mr. Green. You
Thank
may
you.
be seated. Next up is Ms. Tara Balla.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. I would like to serve on the board because I live, work, and send my children to the Coatesville School District. As an adoptive mom of biracial children, it mattered that I chose a community where they were represented. I could have leaned into my privilege to move to more affluent areas within the county, but I knew that my son's identity and confidence was more important than our need to be surrounded by those that looked like us. We are very grateful to this day for this district and community and do not regret the choice to stay within it. As a former science educator, I saw firsthand how school policy affected students. The lesson plans I created inspired the love of learning of science. That, for me, seeing that spark within children really helps me understand the importance of what we do here on the board. As a parent in the district, I have eyes on the ground to see where our board's policies are benefiting students and where we can also improve. As a business owner, I can bring valuable insight and knowledge to the inner workings of the board, so we operate as a well-orchestrated group of individuals. All this to say, I am personally invested to see that all the policies we create benefit our students, parents, and community. Based on my teaching career and business ownership, I believe I would best serve on the Education and Finance committees. My education background allows me to function well under high pressure, multitask, and thrive in all communication styles. I understand the importance of parent and teacher relationships and attuning teaching styles according to individual learning types. Running a multi-million-dollar home remodeling company for 20-plus years has equipped me to understand advanced business financial principles, and I have years of Excel and QuickBooks knowledge, which has guided me to create financial documents and budget maintenance over the years. It did not come up without its stresses, but I still was able to provide all those things. As a business owner, my duties did not just solely fall in the financial categories. I have had to manage client, subcontractor, and employee relations. I've had to make tough decisions that are sometimes needed to manage, create, and execute policies and procedures. I know I could offer a unique and valuable skill set to the board with my education and business ownership experience. In honor of one of the great heroes that our house looks up to, Spider-Man, I have 2 sons. With great power comes great financial responsibility would probably be along the lines of where my campaign would fall if I ever would, again, apply to in a couple years to, in a year. That would be the platform I would choose just because of my experience and my talents. I would be happy to assist in any financial ways as possible. I also am very used to having to make hard decisions financially. I know sometimes, that can be a challenge, and I know I could probably reach the bar for that. Thank you for considering me as a candidate, and I look forward to continuing the great work this board has done.
Thank you. Do any board members have any questions for Ms. Bala?
I'll ask. Hello, Ms. Bala.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Again, I had the opportunity to read over your letter of interest and also take a look at your resume, noting your experience and highlights, which impressive, to say the least. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Mr. Green. Is there anything over your time, your experience, that you look back, what would, if there was something sticking out that right now is not, like sitting right with you, would you do anything different, or what would you do differently?
In my career over the years? No, I honestly feel like I wouldn't do anything differently. I feel like choosing a career in teaching really allowed me to thrive when it was time for me to become a parent. I think the lessons that I learned of patience and flexibility and putting yourself last really served me in the role of motherhood, as many people can attest to our parents. And I'm super glad that I had that teaching experience. And then once our business was created, just kind of jumping in, I think nothing can truly prepare you for the hurdles that business throws at you. And especially in working on a school board, things just come up that you have to be ready and available and can pivot quickly. And I think for me, I don't think I really, even to this day, was like, I can't imagine being an 18-year-old and saying, oh, I want to be a CFO of a construction business. I would have never written that down. But the fact that it taught me just invaluable lessons as far as pivoting on my feet and making tough decisions that you really don't want to have to do, and making pretty much soup out of nothing, stone soup. I think those things really taught me everything that I'm able to bring today. And so, I don't think I would have changed anything over the years.
Appreciate your answer. Thank you very much.
I'm also going to ask you about discipline. So as a mom to biracial children, I'm sure that you've seen that sometimes the way that people react to their behavior is different than they might react to the behavior of Caucasian children.
Yes.
So as you think about the equity report and the overrepresentation of children who look more like your sons than, my son, and yet you also hear about the complaints about behavior, how do you feel like we should approach those warring aspects of our district and that conflict, and how do we come to a better outcome that addresses the concerns across the entire district?
Yeah, it's frankly really depressing, the state of the world. Hearing about George Floyd, I mean, there are just thousands and thousands and thousands of situations that bring my heart to breaking most days. But I think the hard work, and again, I don't know how this will be received, but I think for me, is you don't know until you don't know, and I think maybe we could attempt to inform and have workshops and seminars, just even putting the information out there of how different the experiences for children of color and children of, so I think if we would maybe educate more to families and parents, people who would maybe be open and interested to listening, that it isn't just something that we're making up or that is a one-case scenario that happened one time. If we can bring in the education to make people aware that at least is happening, that children of color are being treated differently, that would be a step for me, because I think, yeah, coming in with a battering ram sometimes isn't received, and so I think education is super important in letting our community know, hey, this is actually happening, here's some things we can do. I would begin with maybe, yeah, education and just continuing to bring about what is actually happening and what is really out there and steps to take to get everybody on the same level.
Thank you. I appreciate your answer.
Are you planning to run next year?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go with the same question as well, and just as a reminder in case you need it. Psychologically safe spaces and managing disagreements on different topics. How do you usually come in to that, and maybe an example with that?
Say that again, sorry, repeat.
So how do you, thanks. So one of the things that the board's been working on and talking about over the last few years, and in our space as well as in the district, is handling disagreements and handling areas where we don't see
Within the
same
board or within the
perspective.
school, sorry?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I think it's something that we want to model at the board and work on at the board level, and that we have intentionally. But also that, I mentioned Dr. Barczyk brought in the keynote speaker yesterday who spoke on having difficult conversations around differences and how we do that in a way that edifies, builds up, encourages. But the reality is, right, when we come face to face with someone we have a difference with, we don't always handle that gracefully. Mm-hmm. So my question is, how do you handle conflict? How do you handle difference? Because on this board, we don't all see eye to eye, and we have difference. And so maybe an example of that, or just, how you handle conflict in those spaces.
So I think the important piece is listening is first, and then second is understanding where each one is coming from. So maybe repeating back what the other party is saying, because I think we, in our minds, first initially, when you are brought against something that is conflicting to you, you instantly start building a response, right? You instantly start thinking, I know how I'm going to counteract this. I know how I'm going to fight this. And instead of that, you have to actively listen and repeat back what the other party is saying. And once then that happens, you both repeat back what the person is saying. That's a true listening scenario. And then I think it's important to hear why that answer is something that's coming out. So maybe then each party could say, hey, I'm saying this because this actually happened to me, or this is why I'm feeling this way. And I think at that point, knowing where each party is coming from, hey, I'm feeling this way because I had an experience the other day walking down the street. Hearing why someone comes up with what they're coming up with, I think, is a huge step in conflict management. And then after that, kind of working together to say, hey, I would like to see this as a solution, how about you? And then they would give their solution, and possibly coming up with a solution that has both things together. So, hey, I'd really like to see red book bags next year. Hey, I'd really like to see white. Can we have red stripes and white? Like, can we come up with an answer that includes both of so where both needs are being met? But I think empathetic listening is a huge and the reason behind why someone is feeling the way they're feeling lets you know that you can get into their shoes in a way, and you can come up with a solution together that includes both of their solutions. I know in my marriage, it doesn't feel lovely to say, what I hear you saying is, and you repeat back, but sometimes it comes down to really simple, why are you feeling upset about this? What is your solution? Can we combine our solutions together? Would that satisfy you in this moment? And the other person said, you know what? If I can compromise a little bit and you can compromise a little bit, I think we can come up with a solution that we both are okay with. We might not always get everything we want all the time, but that's a child wants that. So if we're being adults, I think we can say, hey, you know what? I'm willing to step back a little. If you're willing to step back a little, and together we can come up with a solution that we both feel we're comfortable with. And so that's probably how I would approach dealing with conflict.
Anyone else? All right, thank you, Ms. Bella. All right. The board will now consider the candidates for school board director who have applied to fill the unexpired Region 1 seat. To my colleagues, is there any discussions regarding these candidates?
I do not have discussion regarding the candidates. I'm just wondering, can someone remind me, when does the term expire?
Next December.
Okay, so the person would serve about
A year and
15
Yep.
months? Similar to when you were appointed to the board?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, all
And
right.
Steve.
Yes, all right.
Yes.
Thank you.
So no discussion? Okay, all right. Hearing no further discussion, the board will take a roll call vote for each board member present to determine which candidate they would like to consider. Are we just saying the name of the person?
Yes, so I'll call your name, and then you can tell me which candidate you would like to appoint.
I'm sorry, before we vote, I do just want to say thank you, Mr. Green. Thank you, Ms. Bala, both of you for being here. You both seem like very good candidates. It's a shame that we can only choose one of you, but I hope that I see you both pursue a seat on the board in the future.
Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. All right, let's do this.
Okay. Liren Yako,
Ms. Bala.
Steve Wilson,
Mr. Green?
Beth Brindle,
Mr. Green.
Holly Charest,
Mr. Green?
Bob Connect,
Mr. Green.
Liz Muirhead,
Ms. Bala?
and Robin Seagreaves.
Ms. Bella?
Okay, that's 3 for Ms. Bala and 4 for Mr. Green.
Oh, congratulations. Sorry, I'm just reading my script, guys, because this is really not my thing. This is, all right, the Board of School Directors appoint Mr. Charles Green as School Board Director to fill the unexpired term in Region 1 recently vacated by Donna Rowland. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any? Oh, no, we don't have any. Ayes have it, and Mr. Green is appointed to the school board, as school board director to fill this term. Judge Hines, would you like to come forward?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Judge Hines. Thank you for being here.
State your name. I, Charles Green. Do solemnly swear. That I will support, obey, and defend. That I will support, obey, and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. And the
Mr. Green? Mr. Green? You can come take a seat. You are now part of our board.
What's that? Did you make a dumb face like? Oh, that's a good way to make good use of your time. On college app or?
Apps, like applications.
Are you doing individual or are you doing Common App or both?
I'm doing both. No, I just gave it to you. Right now I'm doing the Common App though. I'm manually sorting every class I've ever taken. So
I hated doing that because my kids wouldn't. So I did it 3 times.
doesn't even know like what this even is.
I wish I never ever saw it ever. Having boys.
It's hard because I want to do enrollment classes every semester, so I have like so many. Just like
Overachiever, you.
Let's get back to it, y'alls. All right. Approval of the minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from July 28th, 2026 school board meeting, as well as the minutes from the August 11th, 2026 special school board meeting, subject to any additions, deletions, modifications, and clarifications?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, comments, or discussion? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Bob Connect,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Holly Charest,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Lear Nyako,
Yes.
Charles Green.
Yes.
Is that okay?
I mean, they,
I mean, I was told I didn't have to abstain from minutes for meetings I didn't attend, so I think it's okay.
sure. Then okay.
Motion approved.
Motion approved. I love it when she says that. Anyway, executive session content. Usually Mr. Barbetta takes this, but if you don't want to, I can just read what's on the thing. Nope, don't worry about it. Yep. The board met in executive session on, except I didn't put the date. Today, today, right before this, for the purpose of discussing legal and personnel matters. Next up is the student representative. There is no report, but we are.
There is no report, but I wanted the opportunity for Charles and Julia, especially Charles, since he's new to the group here, to have an opportunity just to introduce himself and tell a little about himself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Charles Robertson III. I have been a part of the Coatesville Area School District since I've been in elementary school. I am now in 11th grade, and I'm a part of many activities and extracurriculars like band, gospel choir, lacrosse, indoor track, drama club, student council, class cabinet, and I currently serve as the Black Student Union's membership coordinator, and I am a student climate and belonging ambassador with Miss Matter in the back. I'm a part of the National English Honor Society, Meister Singers, and I've been nominated for leadership conferences like the Junior National Young Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C., and the Congress of Future Medical Leaders in Boston. I just want to say thank you for welcoming me to the board with open arms, and I'm here to see us all win. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to represent the student voices of this district.
I was going to say that you have big shoes to fill with Davis, but I'm going to take that back now because I'm pretty sure you have him beat. Though I love Davis to death, so he better come back.
It's a shame you're not more involved.
I know, right? Gosh, do more. Good job. I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you.
And welcome
And
back.
Julia, even though you're not brand new, you just want to give a brief introduction because I'm sure there's some new people out there listening.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. This is my second year on the Coatesville School Board. My name is Julia Trexler, and I am the senior board representative for the class of 2027. A little about me, I'm the vice president of the Rotorbots Robotics Club. I'm student ambassador of Chester County Futures, a team wellness ambassador for a girls club, Step Up, Step Out. I play the viola in the school orchestra. I'm a member of the Cash Ski Club. I work on the yearbook, I figure skate, and I'm also a member of a few other clubs like NHS. I'm really grateful to have the responsibility to represent my class and keep my peers informed, so thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Welcome back. We're going to do what I think the board's missed your voices this past summer. I'm going to say I have. So I'm looking forward to you guys coming back and speaking into our agenda items, and I look forward to what you guys have to bring to it. Anybody else from the board?
Just thank you both. I'm excited to have you back and to work with you, Charles.
Awesome. Next up is the superintendent report.
All right, we're going to keep it brief tonight. Even though there's been a lot going on this month, this will kind of sum it up overall. So first of all, if we go to the next slide, choose Coatesville. Again, I just want to thank everybody, the administrative team, school administrators, the teachers, the staff. Everyone's been a huge part of this initiative, the board, and just the community as a whole in choosing Coatesville. I am happy to announce that our enrollment continues to go up where others are seeing it decline. In particular, our kindergarten, we are approximately about 62 students more than we were last year already, and we still have a week to go. So obviously we're doing some good things and people are listening and they're wanting to give Coatesville the opportunity to educate their child, and I'm excited about that. The next slide shows the school-based healthcare center that we are looking forward to bringing forward. Can someone advance that slide for me? Oh, that's you? I thought it was. This is going to be at the high school. This is in partnership with Union Community Healthcare. We will have a school-based healthcare center that will have its own entrance coming from outside the high school. It will be open up to our students, our parents, our staff, and at times our community. Obviously not during the school day, as it'll be a focus of parents and students at that time and staff. But I had the opportunity to meet up with Senator Comita and the representative from Union Healthcare, and we toured the area, the location of where the school-based healthcare center will be in the high school. And then we're also looking forward to the opportunity to expand this even further at North Brandywine Middle School as part of the new construction with the success of what we have at the high school. So far there's been about $100,000 that has been raised through state funding that was secured through Senator Carolyn Comita's office, and we look forward to the rest of the funding coming through over the next 6 months and that center opening soon, so we'll keep you posted. The next one is our positive behavioral intervention and supports that Ms. Snyder leads as part of the initiative in the district. Positive PBIS, as you probably have heard it before, is very crucial in our schools in regards to rewarding our students for positive behavior and making an impact so all students learn together that even if you have negative behaviors, you can turn the curve and have the positive behaviors within the school. So they all met during the summer to come together and talk about their initiatives and the use of the the electronic application that's used for this program. The next slide is welcome to our new teachers. We welcome just about, Mrs. Heidel, is it 34, I believe we're at, new teachers? 37, right around there. We're actually doing very well this year. We had a great pool of candidates. We are actually only now you have to remind me, we just said it this morning, but 4 special ed candidate positions that are not filled. Every other position in the district is filled. So we're very excited about that. We have, like I said, a great group of teachers who are coming in, very energetic, very ready to go, and excited about their opportunity to serve in the Coatesville Area School District. They had 3 days of a orientation where they learned the ins and outs of the district, and they actually had a scavenger hunt on the first day that wound them back to their schools so they could explore the community, but then end up back at their school that they'll be teaching at. We also welcoming 3 new assistant principals. One of those faces you should be familiar with, Ms. Jamie Schuler. She will be in North Brandywine Middle School. She's coming from Callan Elementary School as a teacher and will be serving as the assistant principal there. Mr. Justin Keller, who is going to be the assistant principal at Cash at the high school, and he is coming from us from Collegium, and he has some connection to the district already, though. His wife is a teacher over at Rainbow. So welcome Justin Keller. And then Mr. Tom Dower, who will be the assistant principal, who is the assistant principal, I got to get used to saying that now, at Scott Middle School. Mr. Dower, again, coming from Collegium over to us, but is also very familiar with the community as he lives right near where he's going to be living his other half of his life. So we're very excited to have Mr. Dower join the team over at Scott Middle School. Then yesterday, we had our convocation where we had our health and wellness fair. And I can't thank enough Ms. Heidel's office through HR and all the individuals, the curriculum office. I mean, really took a whole community to put this together. We had about 30 representatives of different vendors to just share with teachers how they can stay healthy this year and keep track of being, just taking care of themselves overall. They had chair yoga, massages, caricatures, the tinsel and the hair stuff, like all that great stuff. A lot of fun. And then we were in the auditorium as a group for a couple hours. I had the opportunity to welcome everybody back and then introduce them to our keynote speaker, retired Colonel Pilar McDermott. As Mr. Wilson had shared, spoke about hard conversations and fireproofing instead of firefighting, getting themselves ready so they don't have to put out fires, but just be ready for it at the call. So it was very exciting. And then we had some food trucks outside, and then everyone went back to their buildings for their faculty meetings. Oh, so here's the convocation. It's kind of combined with the wellness fair and everything. So we really had a good time. It was just great for everyone to get back. You can tell everyone was kind of itching to just get back to their classroom and back into the district. And I think there's some renewed energy for sure coming back into the district. The last one is my update for Doe Run, which is the video I put out a couple weeks ago. Just thought I would show that as the way to just see how things are coming along.
Doe Run students and families. Dr. Barczyk here, Superintendent of Schools for the Coatesville Area School District. I hope you are continuing to enjoy these beautiful summer days. I wanted to provide you with another exciting update as we continue preparing for the opening of the beautiful new Doe Run Elementary School on Tuesday, September 8th. The excitement is growing. Come on and take a look with me.
I will note there are doors on the front now.
So as you can see, construction continues to make tremendous progress as we are reaching some very exciting milestones. Furniture is now beginning to move into the building. The construction of the playgrounds has started, and our incoming staff are beginning to tour their new school. Seeing classrooms come to life, furniture being placed, and our teachers and staff experiencing the building for the first time is making the excitement even more real. We are getting closer and closer to the day when more than 700 students will walk through the front doors and officially call Doe Run Elementary their home. I am pleased to share that we remain on track for our September 8th opening. I cannot wait for our students and families to walk through the front doors and experience firsthand the incredible facility that has been built specifically for our children and for the future generations of Coatesville students to learn, grow, and thrive. So as you know, opening a brand new elementary school is an incredible milestone for the Coatesville Area School District, and I feel incredibly fortunate to be part of this historic moment. So enjoy the rest of your summer and get ready. We are almost there. Together, we are Coatesville proud as we continue building the future for student success.
So I will say, this was 2 weeks ago. There's only one room that does not have its actual final flooring, and that's the media center, the library, which the carpeting will be going down on Thursday. And the carpenters will be right behind putting in the bookcases. The office is fully complete. Carpeting, the reception desk is in, the receptionist, secretary desk are complete and finished in there. They finished the board, or I call it the boardroom, the conference table and furniture in there today. The student classrooms just look absolutely amazing. I think they are just going to be floored when they get in there and just really see what they have compared to where they came from in East Fairfield and Cowan. Not to say they weren't great learning places. They're just very much updated and they're going to be just totally shocked. So I know that we had the teachers go through to tour the building. We also had the food services go through, and literally one of the ladies from the food service was actually crying because it's a real kitchen. As you know, at East Fairfield, they didn't even cook there. They brought the meals in. So the fact that they have working, the working equipment to cook meals and everything, a huge walk-in freezer, refrigerator, it's absolutely going to be beautiful. And we're really excited, and we are going to be ready September 8th. So I just want to thank the community as a whole for patience and understanding and knowing that we had to wait the 4 days, but to make it fully operational for that school to be open for our students, just to give them the best, it was necessary. So thank you. That. Always forget the dates. For our next set of dates of meetings, we have September 8th, 6 p.m. here in the Learning Center for committee meetings, and then September 22nd, again here at 6 p.m. for our regular school board meeting.
Thank you. Motion items for approval. Committee meeting action items considered routine will be enacted upon one motion unless removed for separate action upon board request. The purpose of the consolidated motion is to expedite governing board action on all consent items which are not held for discussion. Items that have been held for discussion by the governing board will be enacted upon the time the item is discussed. I would like to pull from finance letter A, E, and J. Under education, letter C, since it was a, I'm not going to look at you. That was a place mark?
Yeah, it's the agreement, yes.
Okay, just making sure. That was all that I noticed. Okay, cool. Nothing for operations, okay? And then I just had questions about K, L, and M on policy since they were not discussed at committee. So I'm just a little confused about that. Because we never, it's a second read, we can do that.
Came from June, right? That's
from-
why, because we didn't have
Yes.
policy last.
Yes, sorry. From what I understand, the site that was utilized to update policies was being I can't even think right now. They were modifying the program that contains like the policies. So therefore, there was no,
Did we review these?
yes, we did.
Oh,
We
okay.
reviewed them in June.
So then never mind.
Yeah.
I will not pull those.
Apologies for the confusion.
Yes. Nope. To my colleagues, are there any other items you'd like to remove from this evening's agenda? All right, seeing none with those items removed, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Leon
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Bob Connect,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Holly Sharaz,
Yes.
Charles Green. Motion approved.
Ms. Muirhead?
Thank you. Okay, letter A, under Finance Committee, the financial statements. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve the financial statements and bills payables list as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments on the financial reports? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please say, or
Nope.
Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Holly Sharaz,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Bob Connect,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Leon Yako,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Charles Green. Motion approved.
Letter E, release and settlement agreement with Tanya Tolbert Brown. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve the release and settlement agreement with Tanya Tolbert Brown as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Okay, and I'll note that this is executive content. So there will be no discussion. Call for the vote.
Bob Connect,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Holly Charest,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Leon Yacco,
Yes.
Charles Green. Motion approved.
Okay, and letter J, the Human Resources Report. Recommended action that the Board of School Directors approve the resignations, appointments, new positions, leaves of absence, transfers, changes of status, and corrections as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, I did have a question here. There is a music teacher for Reeseville Elementary that it says TBD effective date, but it's a brand-new teacher, so I don't think they need to be held 60 days. Is that person starting the school year? The music teacher for Reeseville Elementary?
I think actually she maybe had already started, but sometimes I think she had personal things that she was wrapping up. That was the one.
Okay, so we think she has started?
I believe she has.
Okay, so the students will have a music teacher at the beginning of the year. Okay.
She
And then-
did start, yeah.
She did start, okay. And then the other question, I noticed that Corey Bracken is now splitting his time between Kings Highway and Reeseville. Is that just for orchestra? Because we've hired a music teacher for Reeseville? Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I understand what's going on. Yes, I'm following the bouncing ball. All right, and you said that there are only 4 positions we have vacant now on the educational side.
Correct, and it's only special ed positions.
That's really impressive. Do we know where those open special education positions
They're
are?
spread out throughout the district. I believe 2 at elementary and 2 at secondary. Am I correct, Ms. Heidel?
Yes.
So
Okay,
we're going to be working hard to fill those positions,
awesome.
for sure.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
May I just ask, on the special ed positions, are we filling them at all temporarily with like CCIU or any other agencies, or just?
We do
just-
have some CCIU employees who are contracted through, that we're bringing in that are contracted. The positions that are held, that are the 4 that are open, we're working hard to fill them with are
Got it,
inside.
okay. I just didn't know if we had people here temporarily until we fill them. but
Not
we're just-
temporarily. Those, the positions, the
Got it.
CCIU ones that are in, those are classrooms that they'll be
Got it.
in.
Okay.
But there will, these 4 classrooms we're hoping to fill for permanently with ours.
Perfect, thank you.
I have a meeting tomorrow for one more. We'll see how that interview goes. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on the HR report? Okay, call for the vote.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Leon Yacco,
Yes.
Bob Connect,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Holly Charest,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Charles Green. Motion approved.
Okay, that includes the Finance Committee section of the meeting.
Brings the education. Letter C, that the Board of School Directors approve the College Board College Readiness and Success Agreement as presented. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. And was there anything that we needed to discuss here, or this was just a placeholder waiting for?
As a placeholder, it's our annual agreement with College Board.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the board?
Is this the agreement that we use because we provide the SAT, PSAT free? of-
APs and SATs.
APs and SATs, okay. So this allows us to offer them, but this isn't about us funding them?
This has the pricing in it as well for SATs. Now, we do minimize the cost for our students a great deal
Yeah, so
For
the
SATs.
PSATs, though, we,
for PSATs,
yeah.
right? Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other comments? Madam Secretary, please call for the vote.
Liz Muirhead,
Yes.
Robin Seagreaves,
Yes.
Bob Connect,
Yes.
Beth Brindle,
Yes.
Leon Yacco,
Yes.
Holly Charest,
Yes.
Steve Wilson,
Yes.
Charles Green. Motion approved.
All right, that leads us to public comment. At this time, the board will hear public comment on matters of public concern. Please list your name, address, phone number, and topic on the sheet provided. There is a 3-minute time per person. First person up is John, help me out. Is that it? Husett? Thank you.
Hello, my name is John Husick. I am a police officer with East Fallowfield Police Department. Grew up going to the school throughout high school. My son is now a kindergartner. He will be going to school hopefully at Doe Run Elementary, but we are this short of the border. To go to Doe Run Elementary, it is only less than a minute, or it is a minute from our house. To go to Rainbow Elementary, where we're technically zoned, is 13 minutes. It's 5.3 miles to Rainbow. It is less than a mile to Doe Run Elementary. My hope is that there's some way that we can go there. When it was first zoned, my wife showed me that we were zoned for the school, and then I guess in December, when she checked it again, that we were just out of it, unfortunately. It kind of stops at Park, which is my backyard. Again, just from being in the community, I just hope there's some way that my son can start kindergarten at Doe Run Elementary. It's not, we don't want the shiny brand new thing. I wouldn't care if it was East Fallowfield Elementary School was in that area. It's proxemics. It's how close it is to our house. My wife also works at the township building in East Fallowfield. It's just to get to and from work, to drop our son off at that school. It would just make it a heck of a lot easier. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next up is Catherine Holland.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Catherine Holland. I'm a resident of East Fallowfield within the Coatesville Area School District. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you this evening regarding the positive impact an attendance exception could have on building the future for my son's academic success, and perhaps others as well. To be clear, this is not a matter of school preference, but rather an accommodation request. I'm a parent of 3 children, including my 13-year-old daughter that attends Avon Grove Charter School, my 8-year-old son that I homeschool, and my 2-year-old son. My husband and I have been thoughtfully considering enrolling our children in the Coatesville Area School District, dependent upon the successful reception of an attendance exception for our son to attend Doe Run Elementary School, the school most proximal to our home, rather than our zone school, and our experience with his school year thereafter. We acknowledge that we are not alone in the circumstances we find ourselves in, and that this school year will be one of tremendous transition, adaptation, and adjustment for a significant number of students and staff in the school district. This is part of why we have requested an attendance exception for our son, due to his deficits in those 3 areas. After our initial request was denied, I followed up with several emails to leadership personnel in the school district and school board, providing additional context to substantiate our request, including meeting the requirement of showing proof of hardship or need, along with a letter from my son's clinical provider. I did not receive an email or phone call response from my follow-up emails, so I felt compelled to come tonight to speak to you. I recognize that we are just one of countless families who may find themselves in similar circumstances, and that the school district and you as members of the school board have likely been inundated with concerns brought forward by other parents. At the same time, I believe careful reflection and individualized careful, reflective, and individualized consideration should be provided to address every concern that is brought forward. This will lead to a more genuine and successful partnership with parents, families, and the communities that the district is comprised of to support student learning and achievement. Furthermore, this pathway will offer more assurance that equitable learning for all students, including our son, is being prioritized, as has been indicated, for part of the basis for the new attendance boundaries. Building relationships through partnering with parents is key for the district to appeal more to charter and homeschooling families such as ourselves. Our son struggles with emotional and mental health issues that lead to school avoidance and attendance concerns. We believe his being permitted an attendance exception to allow our son, to attend our local elementary school near our home will allow our son to devote more of his emotional and cognitive resources towards learning and making meaningful educational progress. Can I be please permitted to one more minute? Thank you kindly. The close proximity of our local school to our home is a true blessing for our son, making him for the first time express interest in attending public school. This buy-in on his part cannot be overemphasized and will significantly support him in accessing his education consistently and provide him the best opportunity for a successful transition into public education. Within Policy 206, I was unable to locate where it is stipulated that there has been an elimination of attendance exceptions based on a parent's preferred school after showing proof of hardship or need, as I have been told. Again, this is an accommodation request rather than a school preference. What I did read that I feel is pertinent to my request is that the board directs the assignment of students to schools within the district shall be consistent with the educational needs and abilities of students. The superintendent shall recommend to the board changes that may be justified by convenience of access to schools. Lastly, a student may be assigned to a school other than their designated school when such exception is in the educational interest of the student. That is my son. I ask that more grace and understanding is extended towards families with students like my son and partnering with them in order to work towards helping students achieve success in all aspects of their educational journey and development. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Informational items. To my colleagues, is there any informational items this evening?
Yes. I had a few questions that I would like to raise in the ear of the public so that we can be responsive to questions and concerns that I've seen coming from the public. So first of all, in your superintendent's report, Dr. Robarczyk, you mentioned the Community Care Health Center, the $100,000 funding that Senator Comita had secured to help us start that community-based health center. There's a lot of excitement around it, so it's very much a positive thing, but some questions have come up around, is there a financial cost to the district to offer the community-based healthcare center? I wonder if you could respond to that.
Sure. There is no financial cost to the district. It is tax-free for us. There's no additional taxes to anyone, I should say, in the community. This is strictly from the Union Community Healthcare. We are providing them a space within the building, but that space is available. And if at any point the space would not become available because we have an influx of students coming back, obviously we would have to make a different decision. But in this scenario, no, I can only see it being a benefit, as it will help with health, mental, and physical care of our students, and dental as well. So I think it's only a benefit to our district that we have this opportunity for anyone who has a need for that health care to come into that center, and at no cost, whether you have insurance or not, be seen by a practicing doctor and provided the resources needed and able to get the health services you need.
Thank you. Very exciting. The second thing that I wanted to raise is there have been, and I think because of our school start dates being a little bit later than some of the other schools in the area, it's been an ongoing conversation of people looking for teacher assignments, looking for schedules, looking for bus assignments. Can you comment on what should be available, and for anything that isn't available, when it should be available, and for somebody who doesn't think that they've received something that they should have received, what should they do?
Absolutely. There's a couple pieces to this. Every year we ask everyone to re-register their student. It's not re-registering in regards to being a student in Coatesville, but it's making sure we have all updated emergency contact information, health information, and so on. So with that, we ask everybody who has not submitted that information to do so immediately, because that will give you your information that from whether it be elementary, middle, or high school, your schedule and/or homeroom that your child will be in. And at this point, the schedules have been released. They were released on August 19th, except for the exception of one middle school, where there's had to be some additional work on the schedule. And we are working to get that out. I'll be checking with Mr. Williams shortly after this meeting.
I did hear that they are out.
You did? Good.
I did.
You
from
got
North
the heads up
Brandywine.
before I did. I love it.
I admit that I was chatting people during the meeting to try to get an update.
That's perfect. So now all schedules should now be released. Transportation will be coming shortly. They are working to finalize schedules. With the influx of, people moving in and out of the district, as well as our increased kindergarten. We also had one of our positions in the transportation department where we had a change in who's working on the routing. So that's taking a little bit additional time, but I promise everyone it will be out prior to the start of the school year, and they will have their information. If anything is in question, they should contact their school's office and get the information they need, or get to where they need to get that information. And I want to make it known that this coming Friday, the 28th, is when we will be switching over funds from East Fallowfield and Callan over to Doe Run. So when they call, they will get to Doe Run Elementary at that time.
I'm going to add to, I was one of the parents who didn't fill out those forms. So I was late. I knew all of my kids' friends. I'm going to say from the elementary level. Yeah. So if you didn't fill them out, you weren't getting your teacher information. Now buses, I think they're coming out this week, like you said. But if you didn't fill out that form, I can attest to the fact that you weren't going to get your teacher assignment.
And I understand that people can get frustrated about that, but with the new, this is something that was in my previous district that I worked on, and we kind of held it till people completed that process to release that information. Ms. Snyder, remind me, what was the response?
We have about, last I knew, it was 1,800 responses, which was way more, over 1,000 more than we've ever had. And I think when I talked to Darian, I don't want to use the exact numbers, but he said we're up to about 2,300 now. We're almost half.
I can tell you for the last 3 years that I've been on, and prior, those, you didn't have to fill those things out. I didn't fill them out before, and it was, how does the school have your information then?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just old information, and administrators did not have updated cell phone numbers or email addresses. It wasn't good, but we just let it go, and we just sent out the teacher. I think this was a great decision from administration to wait. It was my fault that I didn't get my teachers. It was my fault, not the schools, mine. So I'm glad that they did that, and I also want to give kudos to administration for putting the nurse form in there so that we hopefully don't have to fill them out on the first day of school, because they put them on there. And yeah, so thank you for that too.
Trying to streamline that
I appreciate that
process.
so
It really
much.
is so much more efficient for everybody, and it gives us that one shot to be able to get it all complete, and everyone can move on for the year. So
It's like we're out of the early 2000s. It's great. It's fantastic. Anybody else? Any more informational items? All right, well, welcome, Mr. Green. I look forward to working with you. I'm sure the rest of my board does too. And may I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Yep, thank you. This meeting is adjourned.
You will need to sign something for the abstentions. Absolutely. It was so nice to meet you, and welcome to the board. So Lori was running over here right now for that. It basically says,